Today, I want to talk about something a little deeper than pretty privilege or dating dynamics. I want to talk about gender envy. I once had a man I was dating tell me he wished he could walk into a room as me, pretty, sexy, soft spoken, just to see how people reacted. He wanted to know what it felt like when a woman like me enters a space and the energy shifts. And I was surprised to hear him say that because he was a big guy, like the type of guy most people would consider masculine looking. But in that moment, I realized some of the odd requests he made of me, like asking me to bring him flowers and asking me to drive him around and asking me to pay for dinner, were all because he envied my gender. He literally wanted to know what it feels like to be treated like a beautiful woman. I'm going to break this all down in this video, but first let me explain what you are looking at in case you're wondering. I am a real woman using an AI avatar and a voice changer because I value my privacy. That also why it sounds like I have a lisp. That's just a voice changer doing a little too much teaching. But listen to what I'm saying and subscribe to this channel for more truth about beauty. And that's actually what made me in my relationship with him. I'm not the type of woman that's going to buy a man flowers. I'm just not. It makes me wonder what is going on. I may do other things for my husband or even my fiance, like buy dinner or draw sometimes. But as far as dating and getting to know each other, I'm not about to court a whole man. But that concession from them opened my eyes to something most people never talk about. How some men don't just desire women, they actually envy the social privileges and emotional freedom that comes with womanhood. It's called gender envy. And I want you all to take notes so that you know if you're ever dealing with a man that has gender envy. Gender envy isn't necessarily about wanting to be a woman. These are not men who want to be transgender. Gender envy is about wanting to experience the world the way women do. It's the curiosity, even the hunger to know what it feels like to be seen, desired, and cared for just because you're a woman, just because of your gender. For a lot of men like this, that curiosity lives underneath their attraction to you. They don't just want you in their arms. They want to lay in your skin, even if it's just for a moment. They want to know what it's like to speak softly and still be listened to walk into a room and have heads turn before you even say anything. They want to feel what femininity feels like from the inside, but obviously they don't have access to femininity except through you. And a lot of men, not all men, but a lot of men are raised inside an emotional cage. From childhood, they're told not to cry, not to care too much about appearance, not to want affection unless it's sexual. They're taught that dominance equals power and that softness is weakness. But when they grow up and see that beauty is actually powerful too, and that there are privileges to being a woman, they get jealous. They start to have gender envy because it looks like women are getting everything they want without having to do half the work that men do. For example, women get asked out on dates normally without having to do the work of asking. This is in general. Women get offered sex without having to do the work of asking or even begging for it. And listen to me closely. Some men are jealous that women are socially received and desired instead of having to constantly prove their worth and prove that they're valuable. And when y'all talk about that high value men rhetoric, this is where it comes from. It comes from men feeling like they have to prove that they're valuable. The things they want in life, like the attention and the desire, come to women just based off the fact of it being a woman's. Sometimes the woman doesn't even have to be attractive. It's just the fact, but she's a woman that makes her desirable. And some men notice that. And some men become envious of that. So you want to be careful not to date this kind of man. This is a warning. Gender envy can be very destructive in a relationship. And so if you see signs of it, you need to run, girl. Molly, you in danger. And one of the biggest signs is when their attraction to you turns into like nitpick you or nagging you. Like, this is the type of man who will literally criticize you down to your nail polish color. Where other men might not care what color nail polish you have on, this man cares because you are living for this man. He is living through you, so he cares about what color nail polish you have on. This is also the type of man that might compliment you on how you look one day, and the next say that you dress a certain way to get attention, to get looks. So he'll praise you for being soft and being sweet, and then mock you for being too emotional. And he'll brag about your beauty in public and show you off to his friends, but behind closed doors, he'll question you for wanting to feel beautiful, for wanting to wear makeup or wanting to wear nice clothes. It's a conflict he has going on within himself that he's projecting onto you. So when a man starts to do things to you, it's important to realize that he may be jealous of your gender. He wants to know what it's like when your beauty opens doors that he has to work hard to get into. He wants to know what it's like when good looks and a pretty smile are about to get the job. These men, these type of men, not all men, but these type of men are jealous of the privilege that comes with being a woman. Some men even build entire identities and podcasts around controlling femininity, deciding what's acceptable, what's real, what's feminine, what's masculine, what's too much. They become the judges of women because they secretly wish that they could have the same privileges of women. So they're trying to control those privileges. And that same psychology often explains why some men react so harshly to trans women. A lot of straight men just ignore trans women. They don't care one way or the other because they're not connected to trans women. But for these type of men who have gender envy, they care and they react harshly to trans women. It's an inner conflict that they're having because trans women are attempting to enjoy the privileges of being perceived as a woman. And that's something that these men would never actually do, even though they are curious about those privileges. They still care. So when we talk about gender envy, we're really talking about longing, that desire to experience another version of humanity that society said you can't have, or science said you can't have. Some men chase it through sleeping with women. Some repress that feeling. Some attack it. They attack womanhood. They attack femininity. But at the core of it is gender envy. And that's why some men don't just want you. They want to know what it's like to be. And be by the men you don't want to date. They can't see the other side of what you have to deal with as a woman who gets attention from men, even when you don't want that attention. There's a lot of danger that comes along with being a woman. I don't have to explain that to y'all. If you're watching this and you're a woman, you know the danger that comes with being a woman or just a female, being a girl. But for these type of men, all they see is the privilege and they want some of it. And that's why they treat you and other women the way they do.